guys, welcome back to Spelling and Word Study. My name is Mrs. Rhoades, and I'm here to get you started on Unit 10, the ATE ending. Please take a second to gather your materials. You will need your purple book open to page 65. You will also need some colorful pens, markers, or crayons. Remember, whatever I mark on the board, you should mark on your page. Please save room for a key. If you need to write it on a separate sheet of paper, that is fine. If at any point I'm moving too fast, please pause the video and catch up. All right, so for the last several weeks, we have been looking at words with common endings. And as we look at those words, we're trying to use those endings to help us figure out the part of speech of the word. Is this a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective? So this week we are using the ATE ending, and you'll notice that many of the words this week have two different pronunciations. The way we say the word, the way we pronounce that ATE ending, lets our reader or our listener know if we're using that word as a noun, an adjective, or a verb. So I want you to listen carefully as we pronounce the words this week. Now you'll notice I already went ahead and broke our words into syllables. I did that as a little time saver. If you want to pause the video right now and break your words into syllables, go ahead and do that. All right, so now what I would like to do is read the words to you. Please repeat after me. Accurate. First syllable stressed, right? We say that a little longer, a little stronger, a little louder. Alternate. Alternate. Notice, in both cases, the first syllable is stressed, but this time we're making the A long. Alternate has a schwa sound, the ut. Here, long A sound. Appropriate, we stress the second syllable. Appropriate, we stress the last syllable. The A says its name. Carbohydrates, we stress that third syllable. Certificate, second syllable. Chocolate, first syllable. We barely even hear that that second syllable, right? Chocolate. So we need to pay attention to that though. Considerate, corporate, deliberate, deliberate. If we stress that last syllable and make the A say its name, we're now using it as a verb. Delicate, desperate, duplicate, duplicate. Long A changes it from an adjective or a noun to a verb. Elaborate, elaborate. Adjective, verb. Estimate, estimate. Noun, verb. Fortunate, graduate, graduate. Noun, verb. Immediate, literate, separate, separate. Long A. Adjective, verb. Ultimate. Okay, so on your key, you already marked off your syllable breaks. Now the blue check represents our stressed syllable. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is go back and look at the part of speech, okay? So choose another color. Accurate. Accurate means that something is correct, right? Like, yep, that's accurate. That's correct. Accurate is an adjective. It's a describing word. So I'm going to put ADJ there for adjective. Alternate can also be used as a describing word, right? Like I have an alternate plan. Or it can be used as a noun, right? She didn't win the contest. She didn't win the competition, but she's an alternate. That means if someone can't make it, she'll go to the final round. So alternate can be an adjective or a noun. Alternate means take turns. That's a verb. Appropriate is an adjective, right? Like it is appropriate to wear a bathing suit to the beach. It's not appropriate to wear a bathing suit to church or a bathing suit to a funeral or even a bathing suit to school. Okay, so that's a describing word. But if you appropriate stuff, that means you you work in a government agency and you are sorting out the money, the funds, right? You are appropriating funds to different groups. So here, appropriate is a verb. Carbohydrates, that's a noun. Those are things like bread, cereal, pasta. Those are carbohydrates, right? Foods that give you energy. A certificate is a noun. It's a piece of paper, right? It could be a marriage certificate or a birth certificate. It's just a piece of paper that you can use as proof. Chocolate, one of my favorite things. That's a noun, right? It can also be used as an adjective, though. If you're talking about a chocolate donut or a chocolate cake, it's being used as a describing word. Considerate is an adjective, right? If you are considerate, you're always considering or thinking about other people's feelings. Corporate is an adjective. It describes big business. Like we drove to the corporate headquarters. That's where all the heads of the departments work. Deliberate is an adjective, right? If you do something deliberately, you do it on purpose. But if you deliberate, that's a verb, right? The jurors in a court case deliberate for a while. They think about it before they decide if a person's innocent or guilty. Delicate is an adjective. If something's delicate, it breaks easily. It's fragile, right? Like a delicate flower. Desperate is also an adjective, right? If you're desperate, you're frantic, you need something now, right? You're desperate for help or you're desperate for money. Duplicate can be an adjective, right? Like, oh, you can take this copy. It's a duplicate copy. I don't need it. Or it can be used as a noun, right? Here, this is a duplicate, right? It's an extra. But if you duplicate something, you're copying it. You're making a copy, so that's a verb. Elaborate, adjective, right? If you have an elaborate plan, it's very, very detailed. If you elaborate, that's a verb, an action word, right? You elaborate means you give more detail. Estimate is a noun, right? So my car is making funny noises. I bring it into the garage to see if they can fix it. They give me an estimate. I think it's going to cost about $200, or I think it's going to cost about $500 to fix it. But that's an estimate. It's not an exact amount. The mechanic has to estimate, right? He doesn't know how significant the damage is till he, lifts up the hood and examines my car. So he's estimating what he thinks it'll cost. Fortunate is an adjective. If you're fortunate, you're lucky, right? You have good fortune. A graduate is a noun. That's a person who finished preschool or finished high school or finished college, right? When you finish, you graduate. So that's a verb. It's something you do. You walk across the stage and get your diploma. Immediate means right now. That's an adjective, right? They were in immediate danger. Literate is an adjective. If you are literate, it means you can read, okay? Separate is an adjective. Separate means apart, right? In order to keep things separate, you have to separate them. That's a verb, right? So when you're doing laundry, you separate the light colors from the dark colors. And then the last one is ultimate. That's an adjective, right? We had the ultimate vacation. It just means the best, the very top, okay? So let's look at this now. See if you notice any patterns here. When the ATE, that's not going to work. When the ATE says accurate, alternate, appropriate, carbohydrate, certificate, chocolate, considerate, corporate, deliberate, delicate. When you hear that schwa sound, desperate, duplicate, elaborate, estimate, fortunate, graduate, immediate, literate, separate, ultimate. Okay, in all of these words, ATE makes a schwa sound, right? It's in the unstressed syllable, so we're getting some lazy tongue there, right? But when it's at the end of a verb, alternate, appropriate, deliberate, duplicate, elaborate, estimate, graduate, separate. I'm running out of space for my key, so I'm going to move it right here. When the ATE is at the end of a verb, then ATE says 8. Okay, it's going to make the long A sound. Okay, and it's only going to make that long A sound at the end of a verb. So it's really important that you notice the pronunciation. The spelling is going to be exactly the same, but the pronunciation will change. Okay, let's see if there's anything else we need to talk about. I don't think so. Quickly though, let's look through our unit. Okay, oh, one more thing. When you get to page 68, you have another assimilated prefix. So, we had talked about calm before, how calm means with or together, but sometimes it's assimilated. It changes based on the letters it's tacked onto. So calm, C-O-M, might become C-O-L. In words like collect, it might become C-O. In words like cooperate, it might become C-O-R. In words like correct. So it's an assimilated prefix. The same thing happens with in, okay? The prefix in can mean not. But when you put it in front of a word that starts with an L, like legal, it changes to ill, illegal, not legal. When you put it in front of a word that starts with M, like mature, it becomes immature, not mature. So when you get to this page, you're going to have to go through each of these and just figure out, should it start with ill, im, in, okay? Those are all prefixes that mean not. And we have one example right here. We have the I am, in, immediate, okay? Because this chunk starts with an M, the in changed to im, so it's immediate. All right, that's all I have for you now. Good luck, you've got this, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.